Good morning.
Good morning.
How many people here enjoy walking in nature?
Oh, hey.
Birds, Sedona rocks, that kind of thing. How about bicyclists? I knew we had at least one. We had to talk about something in the car on the way to the speech contest. How about surfers? Any surfers? Okay. How about people who just love to live in the lap of luxury? So, well, I've got a little bit of something for every one of you today. I'm talking about train travel. This came up in my original speech, and I kind of reminisce back to the wonder days of trains, when indeed that was the way to travel. Whether you were a pauper or a rich person, it was your only alternative. Nowadays it's not. And just a little bit of, oops, AV mute, sorry. A little bit of background first. Trains are actually the green way to go. They are more efficient than cars or planes, but that's not what I'm here to convince you of today. I just want you to understand that unlike cars, they don't waste fuel. Texas Transportation Institute said just congestion wastes 2.3 billion gallons of gas a year. The state highway and transportation officials said that by 2005 we're going to have 400 million cars on the road. And by 2020, 90% of urban interstates will be at or exceeding capacity. The U.S. Department of Transportation says that U.S. highway vehicles account for 78% of nitrogen oxides and 77% of volatile organic compounds. So yes, it's the green way to go. But no, I'm not here to convince you to do it just because of that. See, I was born on the railroad. Actually, I was born in Chicago. But my father worked on the railroad. Both my grandfathers worked on the railroad. My uncles worked on the railroad. My brother is still working in the railroad industry. Matter of fact, he's part owner and executive vice president of the electromotive division in Chicago, Illinois. That used to be a part of General Motors. They're the ones that build the locomotives. I was born in Chicago. My father got transferred to Marmarth, North Dakota, then Mobridge, South Dakota, then Portage, Wisconsin, then Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the railroad, when you get promotions, that's what happens. You get transferred. So I lived all along the Milwaukee Road, the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul Pacific, to be specific. And it was a line that actually went from right in there, over to there, down to there. Back then, they did run passenger trains. My father had an employee rail pass, so until the age of 13, we didn't travel in a car. When we went on vacation, we went on a train. And it was fun. That's what I'm here to talk about. Because that's why today you'd want to travel on the railroad, even though it is the green option. Now, you go, well, I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona. How do I do that? There are no trains here. Well, they aren't here, but you can incorporate them as part of a day trip, as part of a little longer trip where you spend a few days in a region, or as a destination unto themselves. We'll start by looking at the Verde Canyon Railroad. You go up I-17. I keep wanting to walk over there. You go up I-17 here, go over to Clarksdale, you'll catch the Verde Canyon Railroad. It actually goes west, which is off the map that way, into the wilderness. You can't get there by roads. You can't get there by plane. Well, you could, but if you fly low enough to see this, you're really in trouble. The only way you can see this part of the wilderness is by train. Whether you travel coach or first class, you'll probably want to go out on the gondola to soak in the scenery. You'll see ancient Indian ruins, and while you're looking up the cliffs, you may see a bald eagle nesting. While you watch the river as it flows by, you may catch sight of a blue heron, just relaxing, just like you might want to do. So wind your way back into Clarksdale, sit back, enjoy, and relax. That's what train travel is about. Next we'll look at what's called the Surfliner. Take a trip over to California. By the way, when you take your car, which is probably how you're going to go, put your bike in the car, or on the car, put your surfboard in the car, because guess what? This train has bike racks and surfboard racks. Catch it in San Diego, put your bike on the train, ride on up San Luis Obispo. You can say you rode your bike all the way from San Diego to San Luis Obispo in one day. It's a beautiful, beautiful ride. Yes, you have some views where pavement has encroached, but others, we might just see a few people, others that are purely, purely pristine. So as you wind your way up the cliff, lose sight of the people, lose sight of the roads, just sit back, relax, have fun, enjoy the scenery. Next, we're going to the Royal Scotsman. This train is billed as the world's most luxurious train. Now, price-wise, yes it is, so I'm hoping to afford it someday. It travels, this particular route, 720 miles through the back areas of Scotland. Beautiful, beautiful Scottish countryside. Your personal attendant will primp your coach room while you have tea and await your fine crystal gourmet dinner. Then you might adjourn out to the back to the observation deck. Go back to your room and enjoy the scenery from your own private window. And oh, don't be surprised if your personal attendant shows up with just a wee bit of drum. In conclusion, National Train Day is May 10th. I've shown you how you can enjoy trains. By adventuring into the wilderness on the Verde Canyon Railroad, by taking your bikes and your surfboards to Amtrak, California, by enjoying the luxury of the Royal Scotsman. So in conclusion, I'd like you to consider including train travel in your plans. And remember, in life, it's not the destination. It's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. Thank you.